remove the quarry, but I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure how that works. We'll go ahead and, yeah, it seems like you just click the entire thing, and that's the removal structure, so you do get that back, which is awesome. So you just obviously can't use that space for the time being. Foresters are fine. Can't really do anything without having an extra forestry area. Yeah, I think we will need another blacksmith, which is kind of crazy to think, but you know, like I said, it's definitely a learning thing right now where we're seeing how much of each item gets used by each person, and now we can start to adjust that, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and get this herbalist built, and then we'll throw one person in the herbalist. That way that's set up and we don't have to worry about it. And we're actually gaining quite a decent amount of everything, so again, our biggest issue is tools still, so but I think now we're just on the opposite end of being able to keep up with it. I think from what I'm seeing, it's like for every 40 people you need one blacksmith. For every 40 people you need a wood cuttery. And then for Christ, I don't even know, I'd say every 10 to 15 people, no, probably 10 to 12 people, you need a farm. So I definitely think once we get these homes built over here, we're probably going to go ahead and throw down another farm, just because I obviously can tell we're going to need it, because we're down to 3,000 stored food. I'm not saying that we haven't gotten to the opposite end of that where we've had it filled, and then we need more space to put different things. But at this moment in time, we're down to less than 3,000 food items, and it's only going down. So we'll go ahead and do a herbalist, but again, this could be something else that we're going to have to keep in our storage barns, which are just going to cause more issues. So, and we really have to build another blacksmith. This is kind of crazy. I didn't think we were going to need this many blacksmiths when I first started. Okay, so since we really do need it, where are we at with it? I was reading stuff, I apologize. I don't even know where to put it. Because it can't fit there. There's no place. I might be able to rotate it and put it there. Will it fit? Yeah, actually it will. That's impressive. Alright, well that's where it's going. Beef, venison, pear, wheat, potato. Well, that's where you can... That's definitely a lot of food you can buy. Again, I'm not too... The food things is not really a big concern of mine at this current point in time. I do want to add an extra person here and here. Trying to speed up us gathering all of this, because there really is a lot of crops that is more than likely going to get wasted before we get a chance to harvest it all. But it does, I mean, we're getting it harvested, so as long as we can keep from having a winter storm, we should be okay. There it is. So, see how much we lose. Not too much, which is nice. Just considering squash is a more of a wintry crop anyway. And the blacksmith is being built, the third blacksmith. So, once that's there, we'll go ahead and throw a third blacksmith into the group. And we are almost at 100 people for our population, which is very nice. Good job, click through. Job. Oh, sorry. Okay. So children are still being born. We're definitely in progress of building everything. The tools, hopefully, are becoming not an issue at this point. Again, we just got tools to not be an issue last episode, and then I mean, well, I guess at the same time, we definitely did just get 18 more adults, so that's 18 more tools that we need to keep up with. So, yeah, we've already ran through a decent amount of our stocks. So, I'm really kind of just waiting for this side to start becoming finished off, because obviously once we get these two homes built over here, people are going to be living over here now, and then we can use this pasture and the storage barn and whatnot, so it'll be another place to store. Once that gets built, I am going to go ahead and just throw down another farm right there. But there's really no point in me putting the farm there without having people over here. Okay, so that's done. So the first house and the pasture is ready for the sheep. Well, almost ready for the sheep, excuse me. It's ready to be worked on. Okay, there's the last house that's over there, so that'll bump us up to 30 homes in our civilization. And we are 2 people away from being at 100 adults. Currently, right now, the overall population is 110. We just had 2 people die of old age. So, which again, I mean, you know, it happens, and pretty much all that's going to do is just allow another home for people to get in and start having their own families. Like I said, we just definitely don't want to get to the point where we don't have space for people to move into and have children, which, you know, like I said, it's kind of just pretty much a game where we have to try to balance it out. But just like making the 3rd blacksmith, you know, we're just trying to make sure that everything's taken care of. And now this home's built down there, so that's awesome, and that'll be taken care of. And then when this home gets built, we'll have 2 more homes down there, and then these people should start having children, which will help the population yet again. So we're definitely in good standings. And we're probably almost to a position where we're going to need to build our next mine and get that set up. Again, I don't know exactly how crazy we're going to have to go with that, but it definitely does seem like it's going to be a balancing act. Like, stone really doesn't seem like it's needed for a whole bunch of stuff, and I probably can upgrade like a house or 2. I might start down in this section and then just slowly start upgrading the homes. I might again wait until this is all set up and we don't have to worry about it anymore. That way it's less stuff for us to focus on, and as long as we keep having kids get born, we should be fine. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and throw sheep there. There are none there currently, and we only can put 10. So we're going to split half the animals, and the other half is going to come over here. That way there's 7 sheep that are being moved to that pasture, and now we need another herdsman, which is fine. That was kind of the point of throwing a pasture over here. Now granted, we can't have as many sheep right there, but it's kind of just a use of space and allowing there to be another job with another person that's harvesting meat, which is fine. And at the same time, they only can harvest so many animals depending upon how many births we have. And now, because we just split them off, we're going to have, well, I'm not going to call it an issue with mutton, but we are going to run into the point where mutton is now going to be something that we won't have as much of, up into the point where the herds start rebuilding, since I just split them off. But now we'll have 2 herds of sheep, so I can split another one, and then one will still be filled. Okay, the merchant just arrived again. I do definitely want to get us to the point where we can start using a merchant again. I just don't want to take too much stuff away from everybody. Because we just got ourselves to the point where we have some kind of inventory. I'll move a little bit of stuff. Like I said, I don't want to move a whole lot, just because if I do, I know we're going to get right back into that position again. So I'm going to go ahead and take 100 firewood to start, and then we'll do like 60 stone, since we have a decent amount of stone too. We'll do 60 stone. That way there's something there. Okay, and our storage. barn is almost complete. Now we're just waiting on builders for that. And the woodcutter is almost complete as well. So that's awesome. And we definitely have a decent amount of iron being created too. Okay. And oh, the next house is finished. Awesome. Okay, but as you can see, we have people with a big age gap in between them, so that's kind of another game where I'm not sure if the age gap is going to really determine whether or not people get born between the quote-unquote husband and wife. Okay, so now at this point in time, since we have the storage barn and both the homes built, I am going to go ahead and run down here, and we're going to throw down another crop field. I don't remember exactly where. Right there. Nope. We need to go over to... Oops. Hold on. Stop this. Remove. Before it started. Okay. Now we will go back to this. Food production. This way as far as we can. So we hit that. Come over 15. Which is there. And then go up 15. Actually, move it out one more. Can I still get 15? Yeah. Alright. That'll do. Okay, so now we got another field getting made. And the herbalist is working. So that should be pretty good. Oh wow, we just had a bunch of kids get born. Okay, awesome. Oh wow, and we've actually hit our limit on firewood, so I'll bump this up to another 100 being stored in our trade post. Just that way, if we keep taking 100 at a time, it's not gonna make everybody go crazy. Because taking little increments is fine, but taking a whole bunch is just going to cause issues. So we'll go ahead and do squash right there. What's that going to make us? 32 people. We'll bump that up to 30. I'll bump this down to 4. And bump this down to 4. And this one down. Actually, I'll leave that one at 5. I'll bump this one down to 4. And bump that. Okay, so that's taken care of. We're gonna have another group of beautiful farmers over here. We will also go ahead and throw a stockpile thinking about doing the stockpile because I want to do another road right here. We'll do a road right there, and then I want the stockpile to how big can we make it, or not big? 4x6, 4x. Alright, we'll do a 4x6. That's fine for now. I'm not too stressed. A house could go there, but it's not worth freaking out about putting a house there. Okay, so now we got a stockpile over here. We got another crop field. Our firewood storage is awesome. Our logs are awesome. Our mine is functioning. Let me pick this up. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and grab this, and we'll build a wooden bridge across here. That way we can connect this with a road. Run the road right there. That way we got the field over here, and I'll probably end up doing another field right here, and then maybe a fishing hut right here. And what does this need? 60 logs and 15 stone. That's fine. The firewood is doing okay. The logs obviously is going to be something that we're always going to have an issue with. So that being said, I think I'm going to do another row of homes right there. Oh wow, that's already got a whole bunch of stuff in it. It's kind of crazy. Why do they stop? No materials required for work. That's fine. Okay, so once this gets built, we're gonna immediately throw down a forester's lodge. Right. Like I said, I want to take up the most of the area as we possibly can while making it productive still. We'll put it right there for now. We'll probably have to move it, and then once this bridge is done, I will go ahead and remove all the stone in that surrounding area, along with all of the iron right there also. That way the forest lodge can be used to its full. As long as tools keep bouncing where we still have some and we don't lose them while we're still gaining them, we'll be okay. Alright, so now we're in spring. Everybody's doing their farmy stuff, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And also throwing some more houses down here would be nice. That way we don't have to be so stressed about people walking so far to their jobs. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but it would just be nice and helpful. And we'll probably leave the hunting cabin there for now and eventually take it away as this becomes less and less needed. Okay, the wooden bridge is set up. The builders are building, and then we're just going to keep the builders for now until the forest lodge is created. That way the forest lodge can get built, and then we can add the extra people. We can add the builders pretty much to the forester group, and then we'll have that. But yeah, some more expansion, and everything seems like we're doing pretty good. And I think what we're gonna do is, because the forest lodge is being built over here, and I'm gonna do another one right here to take up this area. I think what I want to do is I want to do a hospital and push the hospital back as far as we can. Try to save space. Ooh, I can rotate the hospital and put it right there next to the cemetery. Actually, can I put a church next to the cemetery? Is the church too big? The church is way too big. Okay, that's fine. I'll do the hospital first, and then we'll do the church later. So we'll do the hospital right there, and we'll add a road. That way we have a hospital that is being created. Okay, so that's working. Tools is low. Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. What's he got for us? Chickens, huh? Well, let's pause real quick. Actually, I don't have another pasture to put chickens. It'd be nice to have them. They're only 400, and I could buy 2 chickens with the amount of firewood I have. I think I'm going to skip on chickens this time. Not that I don't want them, but we just did that expansion, so I don't believe I don't think we're ready for it yet. I think we'll stick with our sheep for right now, and then when we get everything else set up and functioning, like our church and our new forest lodge, then we'll probably start looking at prospective areas for another farm. Pretty much putting another crop field right here is what I want to do, and then also doing another pasture probably on this side of this mountain, just to fill out these 2 areas, and then kind of reevaluating what's going on, because we probably, like I said, this forest lodge is probably going to become obsolete. This one is doing really well right there. I might end up moving it like right here and putting, or maybe right here and putting another one right here, or doing one here and one here. That way they can keep the surrounding area in check, and that can kind of be our wood gathering area. But that's also why I'm building this one here, so that way I can at least keep the amount of wood being collected the same if I take one away. And what I mean by that is the amount of wood being gathered currently is enough to sustain everything that we're doing to this point. So if I take one away without having another one that is built, we're going to have the issue of, again, where we have where we start running out of stuff because we didn't take care of everything, pretty much. You know, I know right now we're going to be running out of iron because we're using iron for this. But I know we're using iron right now for the hospital, which is fine because we need the hospital regardless. It's something that's going to be needed, and it's going to help us if we ever have any kind of outbreak. So that is a reasonable risk to take when developing the town. And because it's already done, the iron's already collected, so now we're just going to go back to having like 20 to 30 pieces of iron sitting in the store, and we don't need them right now. We're not going to need it. So the only people that are going to use it is the 3 blacksmiths, and they only really can use like 6 to 12 pieces at a time for all 3 of them collectively. So I'm not entirely worried about it. Again, it's, you know, we're kind of just planning for the future at this point in time. And then the next thing I want to do is definitely a church. I don't really have a central point at this point in time for the community. I guess you could say this is the central point because this is where we started, and everything's kind of branching out from here. But at the same time, this isn't really, it's not really that great of a setup for a centralized point. Again, this is like the first time I've actually had a civilization get this far to where I'm able to branch out this far. I mean, again, it's kind of just been trial and error on my own part, and the majority of what has been played on this game has been on camera. The only thing that's not been on camera is a couple plays of the game that I did in my own spare time when I first bought the game, but that's been so long ago when I first started recording that I don't even really remember what I did. I just kind of putzed around with it like I'm doing now, and obviously this is working quite a bit better. But I am kind of upset that we don't actually have that many kids, so I think we're gonna have to, oops, what's this? Outbreak of oh, I can't even pronounce that word. Well, I would have to say that the outbreak is, I'm not really worried about it. We are building the hospital right now, so I'm gonna let the hospital get built, and when the hospital gets built, the hospital is gonna take care of it. So it does seem like it's probably gonna be an outbreak where one person's gonna get it and then the rest and everybody else is gonna get it. But as long as we can get these builders to start building, we should be okay in that regards. Actually, I think it just went away. Oh no, one person still has it. So, like I said, it is what it is. We'll take care of it as we get it. I also think I'm going to put another nice little row of homes right here. Just for future endeavors, I want to make sure that we have some more homes ready for the next generation, and we're at the point where we only have 8 children, so I kind of want to give those 8 children the best chance at having kids. So the more homes we have, the better off we are. And then I am going to go ahead and end this recording once we get the hospital set up, and we'll go ahead and put one person in the hospital as the chief of the hospital, or dean of medicine as they're called in today's society. And at this point in time, I'm going to call it a day with this recording. Thank you all for watching again. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to the channel. Much more content, excuse me for fumbling through words again, will be added and uploaded on a regular basis. So if this is the stuff you do enjoy watching, there will be plenty more from where this comes from. Again, thank you guys, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.